Chosen one. You did something powerful. God decided to send you a miracle. There are moments in life when heaven becomes silent, not because God has abandoned you, but because He is preparing something greater than your understanding. You have cried in silence, fought battles nobody noticed, and carried pain that words could never fully explain. Yet through every storm, every betrayal, every sleepless night, you continued moving forward. That is what made you different. That is what separated you from everyone who gave up. You kept believing, even when life gave you every reason not to. And now, something powerful is happening around you. The energy has shifted. The pressure you felt was never meant to destroy you. It was shaping you into someone stronger, wiser, and spiritually untouchable. God saw the tears you hid from the world. He saw the sacrifices you made when nobody appreciated you. And because of that, a miracle has already begun moving in your direction. You may not see it yet, but certain doors are about to open in ways you never imagined possible. The delays were not punishment. The waiting was not rejection. Every setback was part of divine timing. God needed you to become ready for the blessing He planned to place in your hands. Some people only pray when they want something, but you kept going even when your prayers seemed unanswered. That loyalty touched heaven. That faith moved spiritual mountains. And now, what is coming into your life will shock everyone who doubted you. The same people who ignored your struggle will witness your transformation. They will wonder how you survived everything that should have broken you. But they will never fully understand that God was carrying you the entire time. There is a reason you felt different your entire life. A reason you never fully fit in with certain crowds. Your spirit was never designed to follow ordinary paths. You were chosen for something bigger. While others chased temporary validation, your soul was being prepared for purpose. The attacks against your mind, your peace, your confidence were not random. Darkness attacks what carries light, and the enemy recognized your potential long before you did. That is why your journey felt heavier than most. But understand this clearly. If the attack was strong, it is because the destiny attached to your life is even stronger. God does not place great purpose inside weak people. He knew you could handle what others could not survive. Every challenge increased your spiritual power. Every heartbreak sharpened your vision. Every disappointment pushed you closer to your divine assignment. Right now, there are blessings being arranged behind the scenes that you cannot yet see. Conversations are happening in rooms you have never entered. Opportunities are being prepared by people who do not even know your name yet. God is aligning events in ways only He can understand. Suddenly things will begin changing rapidly. What once felt impossible will start happening naturally. The confusion will clear. The anxiety will fade. The financial struggle, the emotional exhaustion, the loneliness you carried for so long, it is all reaching its expiration date. Your season is changing. You are stepping into a new chapter where peace will replace chaos and abundance will replace survival mode. But before the miracle arrives completely, there is something you must understand. God had to remove certain people from your life because they could not go where He is taking you. Some relationships ended because they were secretly blocking your growth. Some betrayals happened because God wanted to expose hidden intentions before your elevation began. You cried over people who were never meant to stay. You begged for connections that heaven already decided to break. Looking back now, you will realize those painful endings were actually protection. God was clearing space for people who align with your future, not your pain. The loneliness was not abandonment, it was preparation. Eagles fly alone for a reason. There were nights when you questioned your worth, times when you stared at the ceiling, asking God why everything felt so difficult for you. You watched others succeed while your own prayers seemed delayed. But what you did not realize was that your story required deeper preparation because your impact will be greater. Some blessings arrive quickly and disappear just as fast. But what God is preparing for you has roots. It will last. The process took longer because heaven was building something unshakable inside you. Your patience was developing strength. Your suffering was creating wisdom. Your silence was teaching discernment. Nothing you experienced was wasted. You have entered a season where your energy itself will begin attracting miracles. People will notice something different about you. There will be a glow on your life that cannot be explained logically. Doors that once stayed closed will suddenly open. Situations that looked dead will come back to life. The favor of God is beginning to surround you like a shield, and no matter how hard certain people try to stop your progress, they will fail, because what God ordains cannot be destroyed by human opinion. The attacks may continue for a while, but they will no longer have power over your destiny. You have outgrown the version of yourself that doubted everything. Now you are becoming someone who walks with spiritual authority. The miracle coming toward you is not small. It is bigger than money, bigger than success, bigger than temporary happiness. God is about to restore parts of you that life tried to steal. Your peace is returning. Your confidence is returning. Your joy is returning. And when your spirit heals completely, everything around you will begin transforming too. You will no longer wake up carrying heaviness in your chest. You will no longer feel trapped inside fear and uncertainty. The chains that held you emotionally are breaking. Heaven heard every silent cry you thought nobody noticed. And listen carefully, there are people who underestimated you because they only saw your struggle, not your strength. They saw your scars but failed to recognize your survival. They judged your current condition without understanding the spiritual war you had already overcome. But soon, even your enemies will have to admit that God's hand is on your life. The comeback being prepared for you will be undeniable, not because you seek revenge, but because God wants to reveal what faith can produce in a person who refuses to quit. Your testimony will inspire people who are secretly losing hope right now. Your survival will become proof that miracles still exist. The reason this message reaches your spirit so deeply is because your soul already senses change coming. You have felt it in quiet moments, a strange feeling that something is about to happen. That instinct is not imagination, it is spiritual confirmation. God often places anticipation in the hearts of chosen people before the blessing fully arrives. Your spirit recognizes what your eyes cannot yet see, and that is why you must remain focused now more than ever. Do not return to environments that damaged your peace. Do not lower your standards to keep temporary people comfortable. Protect your energy, protect your vision, protect your relationship with God. The next chapter of your life requires clarity, discipline, and faith. Many people around you may never understand your journey because they only witnessed pieces of it. They did not see the battles you fought internally. They did not see the moments you almost gave up, but somehow found strength to continue. They did not hear the prayers whispered through tears when nobody else was listening. But God saw everything, and heaven keeps record of every sacrifice made in silence. Nothing you endured was invisible. Every act of faith mattered. Every time you chose kindness despite your pain mattered. Every moment you resisted becoming bitter mattered. Your character was being tested because your blessing requires spiritual maturity. There are blessings coming that would have destroyed the old version of you. That is why God waited. Success without wisdom becomes self-destruction. Power without healing becomes dangerous. Influence without humility becomes corruption. So heaven allowed the process to continue until your spirit became strong enough to carry the weight of your future. And now you are closer than ever before. The breakthrough is not years away, it is approaching rapidly. What once felt impossible is about to become reality. You may notice strange shifts happening around you lately. Certain people becoming distant, certain habits no longer satisfying you, certain dreams becoming stronger inside your heart. This is not coincidence. It is transformation. Your spirit is evolving. You are no longer aligned with the old life you once tolerated. God is upgrading your mindset, your energy, your standards, and your purpose. That discomfort you feel sometimes is simply the pain of growth. The old version of you is dying, so the chosen version can fully emerge. Do not fear the uncertainty ahead. Some of the greatest miracles begin with confusion, because God often moves in ways humans cannot predict. The path may not always make sense immediately, but trust the direction your spirit keeps pulling you toward. Heaven is guiding your steps, even when the road appears unclear. And one day soon, you will look back and realize every painful detour led you exactly where you were meant to be. The rejection redirected you, the heartbreak protected you, the delay strengthened you, the isolation awakened you. Nothing happened by accident. The miracle approaching your life carries restoration. Opportunities that were stolen will return in greater form. Relationships built on truth will enter your life. Financial doors will begin opening. Emotional wounds will begin healing. Your creativity will awaken again. Your motivation will return stronger than before. God is breathing new life into areas where you once felt empty. And the beauty of this blessing is that nobody will be able to take credit for it except Him. The transformation will be too powerful to explain through luck alone. There were moments when you thought you were losing everything, but in reality, God was removing distractions. Some people had to leave because they were attached to your confusion, not your destiny. Some opportunities disappeared because they were too small for where you were going. Sometimes heaven will break your plans apart to protect your future. And although it hurt at the time, one day you will thank God for every closed door that once disappointed you. What is meant for you will never require you to beg, chase, or destroy yourself to keep it. You are entering a season where alignment matters more than appearance. Peace matters more than popularity. Purpose matters more than approval. God is teaching you not to seek validation from people who cannot understand your assignment. Chosen people often walk lonely roads because their vision is different. But loneliness does not mean failure. It often means elevation. The higher you rise spiritually, the fewer people can travel beside you. And that is okay. God will always send the right souls at the right time. The miracle being prepared for you will arrive suddenly. One phone call, one opportunity, one unexpected breakthrough can change an entire life. Do not underestimate how quickly God can transform your situation. People may have counted you out based on your current circumstances, but heaven does not operate according to human limitations. God specializes in impossible situations. He brings light into darkness, strength into weakness, and hope into broken places. Your story is not ending in defeat. It is evolving into testimony. From this moment forward, stop speaking negatively about yourself. Stop replaying failure in your mind. Stop believing you are forgotten. Words carry power. Your spirit absorbs what you repeatedly say. Begin speaking life over your future, even before the evidence appears. Tell yourself healing is coming. Tell yourself abundance is coming. Tell yourself peace is coming. Faith is not pretending struggles do not exist. Faith is believing God remains greater than every struggle you face. There is greatness inside you that pain could not kill. That is the miracle already unfolding. Despite everything you endured, your heart still carries hope. Your soul still searches for purpose. Your spirit still believes better days are possible. Many people would have become cold after surviving what you survived, but you remained compassionate. That alone proves God's presence in your life. The world tried to harden you, but heaven kept your light alive. Soon you will smile again without forcing it. You will wake up feeling excited about life again. You will experience moments of peace so deep that your past pain will no longer control your emotions. The chapter of constant survival is ending. God is leading you toward restoration, abundance, clarity, and divine favor. Continue trusting even when you cannot yet see the full picture. Continue praying even when answers seem delayed. Continue moving forward even when fear whispers doubts into your mind. Because this is not the end of your story. This is the beginning of the miracle heaven prepared specifically for you. The chosen one inside you is finally awakening completely. And once God releases what has your name attached to it, no force on earth will be able to stop it. There were moments in your life when you truly believed the pain would never end. Nights when you questioned why everything felt harder for you than it did for everyone else. You watched doors close, relationships break apart, opportunities disappear, and dreams get delayed over and over again. At times it felt like life was punishing you for simply trying to survive. But what if every struggle you faced was never meant to destroy you? What if the delays, disappointments, and heartbreaks were actually preparing you for something far greater than you could imagine? The truth is, God often prepares chosen people through pressure. Diamonds are created under pressure, and powerful souls are shaped through difficult seasons. Every battle you fought in silence was building strength inside you. Every betrayal was teaching you discernment. Every setback was forcing you to grow into a stronger version of yourself. While you thought you were being abandoned, heaven was actually preparing you for a breakthrough that requires wisdom, faith, and inner strength. Sometimes God removes people from your life because they cannot go where He is taking you. Sometimes plans fall apart because they were too small for the destiny attached to your name. The pain was never random. The waiting was never meaningless. Even in your lowest moments, there was a divine purpose unfolding behind the scenes. You may not have understood it then, but one day you will look back and realize that every difficult chapter was shaping your future miracle. There is a reason you survived everything that tried to break you. Most people would have given up after facing the battles you endured, but you kept moving forward even when your heart was tired. That resilience is proof that God's hand has always been on your life. He saw every tear, every silent prayer, every moment you almost quit, but somehow found strength to continue. And because you stayed faithful through the storm, your breakthrough is closer than ever. The miracle coming into your life will not only change your circumstances, it will change you completely. Peace will replace fear, clarity will replace confusion, joy will return where pain once lived. And when it finally happens, you will understand that the struggle was not punishment at all. It was preparation for the powerful blessing God had planned for you from the very beginning. Your pain was never random, and it was never meaningless, even though it often felt that way in the middle of it. There were moments when betrayal cut deeper than you expected, when people you trusted became the reason for your silence, and when loneliness felt like a permanent place you were forced to live in. The waiting seasons tested your patience in ways you did not think you could endure, making you question whether anything in your life was ever going to change. But beneath all of that, something powerful was quietly happening inside you. Every heartbreak you experienced was reshaping the way you see people and teaching you to recognize intentions more clearly. Every betrayal did not just break your trust, it refined your judgment and made your spirit more aware of what is real and what is temporary. The loneliness you felt was not empty space, it was a period of deep internal growth where you began to understand yourself in ways you never had before. In that silence, you were being rebuilt. In that isolation, your strength was being formed. The waiting seasons were especially difficult because they made you feel stuck while life seemed to move forward for everyone else. But those delays were not signs of abandonment. They were shaping your patience, your discipline, and your emotional endurance. You were being prepared to carry something greater than what you had experienced before. The longer the wait, the deeper the foundation being built within you. What makes you different now is not that you avoided pain, but that you survived it without losing your inner light. You did not allow bitterness to fully take over you, even when you had every reason to become cold. Instead, something inside you kept pushing forward, even when everything around you suggested you should stop. That quiet resilience is what marks you as someone being shaped for a higher purpose. Bit by bit, pain turned into wisdom, betrayal turned into clarity, loneliness turned into self-awareness, waiting turned into strength, and through all of it, you were being transformed into someone spiritually stronger than you were before. Not because life was easy, but because it wasn't. There are moments in your life when you feel people slowly disappearing, doors quietly closing, and opportunities slipping away, and at first it feels like loss, like rejection, like everything is falling apart for no reason. But what you don't realize in those moments is that not every ending is a punishment. Some endings are protection, some removals are divine, some closed doors are actually mercy in disguise. God has a way of removing what no longer aligns with your purpose, even when your emotions are still attached to it. The toxic people you once struggled to let go of, the relationships that drained your energy, and the connections that kept pulling you backward are not randomly fading from your life. They are being cleared out because they cannot exist in the same space as your next level. What looks like loss is actually alignment happening behind the scenes. You may not understand it while it is happening, but certain doors are closing because they were never meant to carry you into your future. They were temporary, lessons disguised as opportunities, experiences that shaped your awareness, but were never meant to define your destiny. When one door shuts unexpectedly, it is often because something better is already being prepared, even if you cannot see it yet. At the same time, new opportunities begin forming in places you did not expect. Connections start aligning, ideas begin to surface, paths that once felt blocked slowly begin to open. It is not coincidence, it is alignment. It is a quiet rearrangement of your life that is guided towards something greater than what you lost. While you were focused on what ended, something new was already being built in your favor. Healing begins in this process, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. When the wrong people leave, your mind becomes lighter. When toxic cycles break, your peace starts to return. When unnecessary doors close, your energy is no longer scattered across things that were draining you. Slowly, you begin to breathe differently. You begin to think more clearly. You begin to recognize that what is coming next feels more aligned with who you are becoming. Abundance, peace, and success do not enter a life filled with chaos and misalignment. They enter when space has been made, and that space is created when God removes what does not belong. So even when it feels uncertain, even when it feels like things are falling apart, trust that something greater is being arranged in your favor. What is leaving is making room for what is meant to stay. There are times when life feels paused, like nothing is changing, no matter how much you pray, hope, or try to move forward. But even in that silence, something is shifting in your favor. Just because you cannot see progress does not mean nothing is happening. In fact, some of the most powerful changes begin in invisible ways long before they ever become visible in your life. What you call delay is often divine timing quietly unfolding. Your miracle is not far away or uncertain. It is already in motion, moving through paths you cannot see and aligning circumstances you do not yet understand. The things you once struggled for are not forgotten. The answers you waited for are not denied. They are being prepared in a way that ensures when they arrive, they will not only change your situation, but transform your entire perspective. Nothing about your journey has been wasted, and nothing about your future is sleuthy or accidental. Your season is changing, even if your emotions have not caught up yet. There is a shift happening in your life where old struggles begin to lose their grip on you. Things that once felt heavy will start to feel lighter. Situations that once confused you will begin to make sense. What once felt stuck will begin to move. This is how transitions often begin, quietly, subtly, but powerfully. And with that shift comes a comeback that no one expected. The same people who doubted you, misunderstood you, or underestimated you will be forced to witness a version of you they did not see coming. Not because you are seeking validation, but because growth cannot be hidden forever. What God is building in your life will speak louder than anything you ever had to explain. This comeback is not just about success or external change. It is about restoration. It is about becoming whole again in areas where you were once broken. It is about stepping into a version of yourself that carries peace instead of pressure, confidence instead of confusion, and clarity instead of doubt. And when it finally unfolds, it will not feel like luck. It will feel like destiny finally arriving at the right time. So even now, in uncertainty, hold on to faith. Your story is not ending in struggle. It is rising into a testimony. The miracle is already on its way. Your season is already shifting, and what is coming next will prove that everything you went through was leading you here.